Let's talk about how much you expect from your partner. Expectations in a relationship.
You sure you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I am. Because this is something that has come up with us even from the beginning.
It has.
And I find it still comes up 5 years later.
Mm-hmm.
It's little things where, at least in our relationship, and I'm not even sure how much this happens in other relationships. I guess that's why it's good that we're doing this.
I think it's relatable.
You think it is?
I think so.
So I find personally, Tina, my wife, has always had a certain expectation of me, of a husband, and or even of a boyfriend. And can I just give you an example?
Go ahead, enlighten me.
She's gonna kill me.
I will.
Like early on, for instance, you know what I'm gonna bring up. We were dating 2 months, and you have a huge family.
Yep.
You started introducing me to so many people within like a month. I think I met everybody, and there was no.
You met everybody actually at a funeral.
Yeah, at a funeral.
About 2 months in.
Yeah, and then there was a few other family functions like Easter or something, and I met people, and then I don't know. We'd be having a conversation about somebody, and I would forget how they're related to someone. And you would literally get mad at me a little bit. And it's as if there was this expectation that I'm supposed to know everything, like right off the bat.
I think in that specific example is the fact that you always said you had a good memory. So I think that's what made me annoyed, that you couldn't remember who this guy was and how this woman's related to this guy and who's married to who and how many kids they have, because I feel like you have such a good memory that you would have been able to retain that information. Okay. Even having met them once.
Fine. But it's a process, right? So there's that. Then when I'm going to give another example. I feel like this is therapy. Mind you, this is what this podcast is all about.
We hope so. Yeah.
So when we moved in with each other, I think there was an expectation. And you say it's relatable. And I'm curious to know, too, if other relationships have been down this road. And if you have, let us know. Write us a message. Write us a comment. When we moved in, you expected me to know how to garden. You expected me
no, I didn't.
to know how to, I guess, like, clean and...
Yeah, clean, cook, tidy up after yourself, because you actually lived by yourself and you lived with another woman before meeting me. I guess I fabricated all these expectations in my head of what you are capable of doing or what you should be doing.
Is it a fabrication of me personally, or is it a fabrication of the husband?
I think of the husband, but also in terms of your past experiences. So here you are, a man, and you're like early 30s, who lived alone, was married. I expected you to know how to do certain things.
Fine.
And I think I also didn't expect you to be handy around the house, because we renovated when we moved in, before we moved in, actually. And you were ready to call any contractor, any handyman to come and do the stupidest, smallest job in the house.
I hate that
But
stuff.
Then what did you do?
I got better at it.
You got better because you went on YouTube.
Exactly. Thank God
and
for
you
YouTube.
started self-teaching yourself.
But there was other things such as, and like, okay, baby, bring up good points about.
Thank you.
I was on my own, and I did learn things, obviously, but also to the point where sometimes you'd be like, okay, well, my dad knows how to do that, or I'm like, yeah, but did he know how to do it when he was 30? You know, like, I mean, he's in his 60s and he's a pro doing one thing and doing the other thing.
That's the man who I modeled.
Yeah, I know, but you need to understand that there's a learning process.
Yes.
And for instance, like your father told me when he was helping me with our back deck, he said, yeah, my father-in-law used to help me too with things that I didn't know how to do. Right?
Right.
It's like if you hired somebody at a job and they don't have they have like maybe a little bit of experience, but you expect them to run the place. It's kind of the same thing if you think about it. Is that a weird example?
No.
But I'm just kind of comparing it to that. Am I wrong? Is that wrong?
No, you're not wrong. No.
Okay,
but I did have an expectation that you were able to do things, even cooking.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're following a recipe and it says put half a cup and you're putting a cup, or if you're changing ingredients and then I have a feeling after eating the food, I have a feeling that you change things. I'm like, why don't you just follow the recipe?
Yeah, but
you told me you knew how to cook.
I said I've cooked before. I didn't say I was great at it or I love it.
Okay.
But then kids come along and I feel like there's more expectations. Like,
of course.
We're supposed to know how to do everything properly all the time.
No, because that too is a growing learning process.
Yes, like everything else.
But I do expect you to do certain things around the house. So what do you want to talk about first? As a husband or as a father?
Okay, go hit me. As a father.
As a father. Well, when we have a baby who continuously wakes up in the middle of the night, and the weekend rolls around, I do expect you to go and feed her or to wake up and change her diaper and not just wait for me. And once in a blue moon, you actually surprise me and say, hey, babe, stay in bed. I'll go change her or I'll go feed her. And you're like, turn around and fall back asleep. Yeah, right. I'm going to fall back asleep.
So, okay.
I'm listening to the whole thing unfolding and making sure that you don't burn the milk.
So during the week, you're okay with it because I have to get up early.
And I feel bad. So that's an expectation that I do not expect you to do, is to wake up in the middle of the night and to take care of the kids, knowing that you wake up at 4:30. So I will never expect that of you.
Okay, but I appreciate that. So you're saying that I can do better on the weekends and stuff. I should just
a little bit. It would be nice because every time Saturday rolls around and our daughters wake us up early and I just crave for 5 extra more minutes of sleep. Yeah, that's when I would love for you to pick up your game and take care of them. And sometimes you have. Yes, you have.
But sometimes I forget what day it is. So if I hear, if it's like a Sunday morning at 3:45 or 4 o'clock and I forget it's Sunday. So
really? You're going to give me that lame excuse? I'm not buying it.
Sometimes I just roll over.
You know what day of the week it is.
And what else?
Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay. This is what it's all
about.
Well,
expectations. How about getting the cars cleaned?
Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to get your car washed once a week.
Once a week. That would be fantastic because my father did that.
Yeah, but you see, your father's a saint. Okay?
He really is.
So I don't wash your car enough. Okay.
At all. Sometimes it goes like 4 or 5 months without getting cleaned. And then just this week, I've been dirtying our daughter's pants, taking her in and out of the car because the car's filthy with this winter weather.
And somehow that's my fault.
Yes, because you're the man.
You see, but that's my problem. That's my point.
Okay, it is about 4 years I've been asking you to go out and buy a bucket with the soap to wash the cars and a chamois. Okay, that has not been done.
But why is it the man's role? Like,
why is it the man's role to do other tasks around the house? How about shoveling the snow? I expect you to shovel the snow. I really do.
That I do.
You do it. But sometimes I feel bad, so I want to get it done before you get home. Which I did this week, actually. I shoveled the walkway before you got home.
And I got mad because I'm like, you don't have to do that.
I wanted some fresh air. But yet I killed my back doing it.
Then there was the expectation, like in the summer with the grass. And okay, I cut the grass, but did you clean the weeds? You
never clean the weeds. And I always, always, always expect you to do it. But you don't. And sometimes I expect you even just to pick up something that's on the floor. But you claim to not see it. Yes, okay, but if it's something bigger than a speck of dust, which both our daughters are able to see, surprisingly, because they take after me.
I know, thank God.
I do expect you to just pick it up. If there's something dirty on the floor and you walk by it 10 times a day, take a cloth and clean it. I don't know. There's been a stain on the floor for the last 24 hours. You can't tell me that you haven't seen it. It's black.
Which one?
The one near the door that we come in and out of from the garage.
Oh.
Yeah, Bo. I came downstairs this morning and I saw it and I said, really? You didn't see that?
I think it's because, and
you can't expect me to always pick up
no,
and
you're
to
right.
clean.
But when it comes to actually seeing things, my eyes are bad. I don't wear my glasses.
I know.
Sometimes I can't see. But I think sometimes when somebody does something so often, you almost just like, well, she's going to do it.
Yeah, well, that's not fair.
No, it's not fair at all.
That's not fair at all.
No, you're right. And it's not.
How many times do I threaten not to cook? But then I feel bad because we have the girls to feed, and I'm like, well, if I gotta cook for them, might as well cook for you too.
But also too, I
don't want to sometimes because you piss me off with whatever.
Good, I know. I seem to piss you off a lot lately.
Sorry, you are.
It's okay, but also I think I'm speaking on behalf of other husbands here too. We there's an expectation sometimes that we can never hit with like for instance, if you say, okay, babe, clean up. First of all, you don't even let me clean up the kitchen or whatever it is. But when I do, there's still something I screw up or I do wrong.
And then you get mad at me when I call you out on it. I do appreciate that you do it. But sometimes I just rather you don't. And maybe that's my fault. That I like getting things done a certain way. I like doing things myself.
I know.
Maybe it's because of my OCD or like being an only child. And, I was.
But you do everything so well. You really do.
Thank you.
It's just tough to live up to the expectation of everything
folding
being perfect.
The underwears. 5 years. I'm
Okay,
trying
I'm
to teach
bad
you
at it. I'm bad
how
at
to
it.
fold clothes, my clothes. So I'd rather you just leave them there. But no, you insist sometimes on folding them, and then I have to refold them. And sometimes you want to fold the kids' clothes, but I tell you not to. So I don't have the expectation of you to fold them. So please don't do it. I will do it. You want to help me? Help me in other ways. I don't know.
But you ever think that maybe I'm going to divulge a secret here? Maybe I
Oh, really?
shouldn't. Maybe I do know how to do it, but if I am good at it, then I'm going to have to do it more.
And what's wrong with that?
Well, you're just so good at it.
Tell me, what are you better at than me around the
nothing.
house? Around the house.
Honestly, I'm kidding, but it could be possible that I could have been faking it for 5 years. I'm kidding.
I don't think so,
I'm
actually.
not doing that. I'm joking. I'm actually really
I
shit
know
at it.
what. No, but I know what you're good at, and you
Not
have your
much.
tasks around the house, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
do. Yes,
What am I good at?
you're good at everything.
Oh, that's
Everything.
bullshit. Hold on a sec. What am I good at? I'm curious.
You take care of outside. You clean up the garage.
Ooh.
You know, you shovel. You cut the grass.
Okay.
Yeah. And
What
if
about
there,
inside?
Inside, when we have little jobs to do, something to fix, you became Mr. Fix It around here, and
Yeah,
Mr. Change the batteries.
No, I
and
take a screwdriver and
I know how to
tighten
use
things.
it. I know how to use. Oh yeah, what happened the last time you took the screwdriver and tightened something? Our Curio, you decided to
Tighten it too much?
tighten the knob too much, and you ended up cracking it. And this is the second time it's been cracked. The
Probably-
first time was my fault, so I took ownership of it. And I told you, do not tighten that knob; it will crack the glass. What did you do? Exactly that.
See, expectation.
And
You
it's
ex-
right at the top of the staircase.
But
So it's like you see it as soon as you walk in that it's cracked, and now there's nowhere to fix it because, everyone's on lockdown.
I was worried about our kids because it was loose, that thing. So I'm like, I'm
They
looking at it. I
aren't
gotta
going to
tighten
eat it. They will not eat it. They might eat other stuff that's on the floor, but not even.
See? It's just, you try to do something good, and then paf! Right in the heart. Ugh.
You got too happy with the screwdriver the other day.
And what's with changing batteries, too? For some reason,
Okay.
I don't know if this happens in your house when it comes to changing batteries. You just, okay, babe, batteries, and you pile things up in my studio, in my office. We're in my studio right now. Okay, look, I come here. There's four friggin' toys in my chair.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And the reason why I asked you to change the batteries of the toys is because they all require a screwdriver to open it.
Mm-hmm.
And to change the battery, it's not just like adult stuff where you could just pop it open and change the batteries yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those toys have very small screws.
And look at my
nails.
hands. They're fat-ass hands.
And yes, I know, but you're so good at it. So that's why I let you change it.
But that's like saying, okay, well, you're such a
Plus,
good
you know where all
cook.
the batteries are.
Yeah, fine. But it's like saying, well, you're such a good cook, so I let you do it. And then you say, oh, well, how come you don't cook? Well, it's because you're so good at it.
Oh, thanks. So
It's
that
the
means
same-
I always have to cook.
No, but you are really good at it.
I have asked you to bake.
Yeah, I tried the baking with you.
You
once.
you
It was
did,
fun.
and it was fun.
Yeah.
Again, if I tell you it's half a cup, it's half a cup. It's not 3/4, right?
Yeah, but I have you barking orders at me.
Yeah. So I want to make sure that our product comes out good.
Oh, I'm curious to know if you listening can relate to this and you watching, because I'm glad we brought these things up to the table and we've been very open and honest about all this.
Yeah. How about the expectation of reading each other's minds?
Yeah, what is that about?
I feel like you're so good at reading my mind.
But then here's the thing. You sometimes expect me to know what you're thinking or to know how you're feeling,
And 95% of the time, you're right.
but it's not fair for you to assume that I know.
Sometimes I just don't feel like articulating how I feel.
Because that's happened a few times. Oh,
yeah, and
well.
we've gotten into fights because of that. I know.
Yeah, more recently too. I can't think of an example. But there was one time where you're like, well, you should have known.
Because again, I expect you to know certain things without me having to repeat myself.
But I'm all about the communicating and just, okay, baby, if that's how you feel, tell me. Just say, hey, I want to do this or I don't want to do this. And you're like, well, I thought you would have known. Well, how? Am I psychic?
A little bit.
No, maybe.
You really are.
No.
Okay, but you're really good at reading
What do
my
you
mind
call
and what
it?
I want to do.
Intuitive.
Intuitive. You're very intuitive.
Fine, I guess, but it's not always going to be right.
I know. But I like when sometimes we're on the same wavelength, when we're both craving the same food. We both want to
Yeah, I
eat
know.
the certain things. And
I know. Those are good times.
they were on the same
Times.
page.
See, I tried to never really have expectations.
I know. And thank you for that.
No, but I mean that I'm actually, it's my big advice to anybody. Don't go into things with like super high expectations.
I agree, because you're only setting yourself up for disappointment, and it can cause fights and tension in any relationship.
Yeah. Set the bar low.
I'm trying to set it low.
No, you don't know how.
I've tried. Yes, I've tried. I'm working on it.
As long as it doesn't translate onto our kids, and we have these super high expectations for them to be perfect and
a little bit
do everything right. It's not going to happen. And I already see the toughness on our oldest. Like, holy shit, she gets it.
I feel like she's so capable of doing so much because she's so advanced for her age, and I'm a bit hard on her because of this expectation.
I know. But
and when she can't tell a circle from a square, it drives me crazy.
So Tina yells at her like, "Why you know the shapes?"
Bad mother. I yell at my daughter.
Incredible mother. I guess as a husband, I'm like, it's okay, don't worry about it. But maybe that's my weakness. That's my fault. I'm like, yeah, she's okay, but then I got a bit of my father in me. Yeah, don't worry about it. When the mother needs to be like, listen, she needs to learn it. I need to teach her better, right? And it's good. But I'm like, or you expect her to eat perfectly like an adult. I'm like, she's 2.5, like she's pretty good.
She's very good.
But then some days
she's not. And when she starts eating with her hands, oh boy, I lose my cool.
Yeah, you do. And it's
because I know that she knows better.
I know.
But again, I got to lower my expectations with everybody and everything in this house. I know.
I think it's funny because we're watching Jane the Virgin now. And if you've watched this show, we highly recommend it. It's a really good show.
We do. It's really funny, very relatable.
Yeah, very relatable. And it's like this young girl, she gets pregnant, but she's a virgin and she got artificially inseminated, and it's hilarious. She lives with her mother and her grandmother.
Yeah, that part is not relatable.
No, I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing this up because Jane is a lot like you, and there's a lot of people like you who have an expectation of their life or like a plan, and like things are supposed to be going this way. My plan is like this, right? And Jane is very much like that in the show.
She is.
And she's
a little bit more than I am.
More than you, I guess, for the character-wise. But you are a little bit like that, where you have a vision.
I have a vision. I like when things are planned, structured. That's why you always joke with me when we go on vacation and I plan the itinerary.
You know what? We should do an episode on that, on vacations.
Yes.
That is a great idea because you are...
Maybe the next episode.
That is a good idea. You ever really know somebody and then you go on vacation with them and then you're like, holy shit.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that.
I mean, I don't even have to think when we go on vacation with Tina. Everything is done. I don't have to, even bathroom breaks, everything.
How about the expectation of knowing where you're going when we're driving?
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's true.
I know I pissed you off a lot with that.
I said that to you the other day when we're going somewhere and I know where I'm going, I literally just let you tell me where I'm going because I don't have to think. I know there's expectation that you're going to tell me, and then when you don't, I'm like, where am I going?
You know where you're going.
I take the wrong turn.
But I always expect you to know where you're going and to take the same route that I would take or to drive a certain way. I know we've had these conversations in the past, but I still always expect you to be a certain way in the car. And I know you have that expectation of me to stop being a backseat driver.
Yeah, I know.
And I continuously disappoint you on that. I'm always a backseat driver.
I feel bad because it's like, I'm calling you out on all these things, but it's all for fun or for the sake of discussion.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm
not taking anything personal.
No, it's just because even at home, but it goes to show you like, I'm loading the dishwasher. Oh, no. The expectation is to load it this way because you do it that way. The expectation is to leave the thing on the left side of the sink.
Yeah, the faucet has to be on the left side.
It's expectation.
Yes.
It's expectation all the time.
But I think that's human nature. We all have expectations about how we want to live our life and what goes on in our daily life and what we expect from our partners.
Just lower the bar because I'm pretty. I don't have
You're
a lot of great
chill.
qualities.
You're good. Yes, you do. You have amazing qualities, which is why I'm with you and I love you.
Thank you. That's kind of you. I can say the same for you. Lower the bar really low. It's also the first 3 letters of my last name. Bar.
Ruco.
So lower the bar. Ruco. Yeah. And I'll just. Actually, we got to mention our friends over at Steak Bleu. So we asked you to have high expectations for them, and they will not let you down. That I can guarantee you. What did we make this week with their meat?
Pâté chinois, shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
And we made the chicken thighs in the crock pot.
Chicken thighs in the crock pot, which were absolutely delicious. We also had their steaks on the barbecue. Which
yes, we did. Yeah, we had sirloin steaks on the barbecue. It was fantastic. Even our 1-year-old devoured it.
She loved it. So your kids will love it. You'll love it. It's delicious. For the price, I mean, if you start comparing what they sell meat in grocery stores, and now we're encouraged to stay home as much, be safe.
You're expecting to get very good quality food for the price that you're paying.
Yeah, so $98 a variety box. They have many other options and cool boxes you can check out. Go to stapler.ca and type in the code FAST10, and they'll knock off 10% the order at checkout. If it's your first order, check them out on Instagram too, Steak Bleu, at Steak Bleu on Instagram. That was fun.
Yes, it was.
That was fun. So you're going to lower the expectations a little bit?
I'll try.
Yeah, right.
I'll try.
Yeah, right. Not going to happen. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.